Today, I want to speak about something very, 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 very important. And even before I continue, hi to the Zimbabweans. I'm in Zimbabwe, in the capital city of Zimbabwe, Harare. I'm there. I've been here for the last 7 days, but I'll be traveling back to Kenya tomorrow on Saturday. And I have really enjoyed the moment here in Zimbabwe. And if there is any Kenyan who is in Zimbabwe, I'm still hanging around at Rainbow Towers. That's the center of Harare International Conference. Today, that is when we are doing the final. We are finalizing our conference. I have been with the Roof Forum and the MasterCard Foundation, and we have really talked and we have really had great moments. I have really enjoyed the people of Zimbabwe. They are very kind. I have moved to so many places. I have moved to so many historical sites in Zimbabwe, and I love the people of Zimbabwe, and I love the culture. They have maintained their culture. They are really keen to the culture, and they have been able to preserve their culture because we are defined by our culture. Even if we are evolving in the society, we can never negate the fact that we come from a particular culture. And even though the culture is changing, there are still some stains. There are still some things that can never go away. We are the sum total of those people who went before us, those people who handed what they handed to us, our language, our accent. And I have really enjoyed Zimbabwe. And if there is any Kenyan who is here in Zimbabwe, you can uh, you can reach you can reach me through my Facebook or maybe WhatsApp, and we'll hang around for the remaining time. Today, I want to talk about something very, very, very important, and I want to talk about building. Building is something that is very, very important. I want to read a quote that was written by the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. He said, when you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all your thought break their bounds. When you are inspired by something inside of you, your mind, they break their bonds. Your mind transcends limitations. They transcend limitations. Your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great, and wonderful world. What amazing! That when you have an idea, when you have an extraordinary purpose, that no matter what bounds your mind, that you are not limited to anything. When you are ready to build something, building is very important. Everything depends on building. A good family, building. A good business, it is about building. A great nation like Zimbabwe and Kenya and all the nations in Africa, we used to be colonized, but now we are at liberty. But we can still be in slavery in some way if we don't liberate ourselves. There is that essence of building, and not just building the nation, not just building, but also building you. There is an inner voice inside of you, that a kind of intuition that speaks inside of you. When you discover that voice that keeps and telling you this is the direction that you should take, no matter what restricts you, you break those bonds, you break those things. And when you are building something, it doesn't make sense to the outsiders. It doesn't make sense to those people who are watching you. And sometimes we are limited by the naysayers, by what other people are saying, but they can never stop you from building what you are building. Because if if you are going to concentrate on people more than you are building, and if you are going to concentrate much on building, that you forget that you still have enemies to fight with, you have to do like Nehemiah. I love the spirit that was with Nehemiah. he was building the wall of Jerusalem, and he was still fighting with the other hand. The Sanballat and Tobias, they were fighting him. He was fighting with one hand, and the other hand was building. You cannot take away your intention from building and focus on the enemy. Just look somebody like Noah. God told him to build an ark, and it took 120 years 120 years before the rain. He was building every day, and he could not see any sign in the sky that showed him that the rain was about to fall. I'm telling you that the signs of success are not obvious. They are not obvious. Something that you are promised by God, that it will come to pass. You may not see it right now. You may not see it right now. Just because you doesn't see it doesn't mean that it is not there. That's why he wants you to walk by faith and not by sight. And when Noah tried to persuade his friends to come and join him in the building, they came, and after some time they say this bullshit. This thing is fake. It is not legit, and they could come and destroy the ark and return the building work to zero. Have you ever had build something and people come and destroy what you are trying to build and bring it back to zero because they had an investment? They had an investment in your life. They did something in your life when you are in your childhood, when you are in your when you are down, when you are growing up, and they keep on reminding you, criticizing you, telling you that you can't do this or that. All these things are kind of things that try to destroy what we are trying to build. But even if they take the materials, even if they take the materials that they invested in the structure that you are trying to build, God wants all the materials to come from you. That's why these people could not believe. That's why they came and destroyed the ark. They took somebody took his tibber, somebody took his nail. They went away with it. Noah had to go and source the materials from somewhere else to come and replace these materials that are taken away, because God wants you to have your own materials. God doesn't want anybody in your success to come and brag at the end that they did this and this and this. That's why you have to carry your own cross. That's why God wants you to use your tibber. He wants you to use your nail in your building, so that you don't, even if you'll brag about something or somebody, you will come to brag about God. That is when you look at the end of the day, you look at your life. When you look at retrospect, you say, if it had not been for the Lord that was on my side, I couldn't have made to this end. I could have made to this end. When the rain came down, Noah could look. When the ark was lifted at or on Mount Ararat, he could look down, because God will always protect what you build. It is not in vain that you had to build for 120 years. There was a reason, and God will not put your work to waste. He did not waste Noah's work. He protected the building and made sure that he took it somewhere high, and he protected them in the inside, and it looked like a cocoon, because God will put you in a cocoon, in that thing that he is telling you to build. He is not trying to tell you to build so that he can come and live inside there. He's trying to tell you to build because he knows that it is going to protect your entire life. You have to survive the moments. The thing was to be built so that he can survive the moments that he was going through. Because you cannot step into your success when you have not survived. So if he had no building that he could have protected himself and his family, he could not have stepped into the next move of God. So you have to build patiently. For we glory in tribulation. We know tribulation worketh patience. patient experience, and experience worketh hope, and hope maketh not ashamed. Hope maketh not ashamed. Build that thing that God has told you to build. Leave those people who are talking to talk. At the end of the day, people will always have an opinion about what you are building. It doesn't matter to them. They may wonder, what kind of a building are you trying to build? What kind of structure? We have never heard about an ark. I have never heard about an ark before. What are you trying to build? It doesn't matter to them. It only makes sense to you. Build what you are building patiently with endurance, because you are going to reap harvest if you don't give up. So keep building no matter what comes on your way. Keep building no matter what people say. Keep building. Let people give their opinions. Their opinion doesn't matter. What matters is what God is saying about you. And you gotta build. And you gotta build because you are inspired. You are inspired. God has spoken to you. There is a great purpose, some extraordinary project. There is something that God wants you to achieve. And you gotta build. Build. At the end of the day, you will see your ark standing when you have survived, when other people are failing. That is when your enemies begin to be struck by the reality, because they laughed at you when you are building the ark, and when the rain comes down, that's why they're gonna understand what the building was for. They don't understand. When you are in the middle of the building, you will get tired, you will become angry of God because He told you to build something and you don't see any signs of success. But the success is haunting you, the success is on your way. Don't stop building. May God bless you so much. Have a lovely day. May God bless you. We are going to build. Keep on building. Building matters.